Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about interns, the pros and cons of hiring them, what to watch out for, do you pay them, do you not pay them, and getting the most out of them, and what you need to do to get there. I'm Karen, I'm a CPA, entrepreneur with big ideas, and I'm the mom.
I'm Cadie. I'm a payroll specialist, business owner, and detail-oriented person that makes things happen, and I'm the daughter. Welcome to Cheers to Business. You've hired a lot of interns.
I have 3 right now.
But
one of them's working on a master's.
well, and a lot of the interns that you've had previously, they've become staffed employees.
Yeah, it's a great way to, what they call homegrown.
Pre-qualify.
Yeah, because you can see how smart they are, or if they fit your culture, and it works out really good for them if they're getting college credit for it.
And it's almost intern season with summer right around the corner.
I know. A lot of them like to head to the beach. But
So there's, I guess, high school interns and college interns. So really, I feel like in our industry, we really kind of go more of the college route.
yeah, definitely. Just the different maturity levels. We both have a lot of confidential information in our
Right.
office, and we don't want it getting out. I did something a little different this year. 2 of my interns right now are not going to school to be an accountant.
What are they going to school for?
One is hospital administration. I should know, and I feel bad I don't, but I'm not sure what Emily's is. I think it's just a general business degree.
Okay.
But she's not specializing. But, she's great with the clients, and she helps the ladies up front so they can get more done.
One of the important things I feel like when bringing in interns is knowing what is expected of them.
Yeah, you got to have a plan, and I've not been the best at that. Gracie, she's actually thinking about changing her major to accounting from being in the office, and she's actually doing some data entry now into QuickBooks. When clients don't have their own books, they bring you the check stubs and the bank statements. It's got to be entered into something.
I wish you had the data of their timelines. During this week of their internship, they started on this task, and I would love to see a trend of that, especially for future interns. Okay, by this week, you should be here.
Oh, man, that sounds like everything I should have done. It really does.
Well, it's not too late to
honest.
start.
I got to be honest. I really should have done that.
But what I would go do next week is go look at their hire dates and then write down what tasks that they're currently doing, and that'll at least give you some initial data.
No, I really do. That's brilliant, Cadie.
So if you have no intern plan and you currently have interns, just look at where they're at and what they're currently doing.
Now, this is interesting because Jamie's fixing to graduate in May, the hospital administration. And so she's going to be moving on with her career. And she's already let me know. She gave me a 5-month notice because Jamie's kind of moved into my personal assistant. I mean, she knows my passwords. I've known Jamie. She's been with me for 5 years while she's gone through college. I know her mama. I know her brother. I know her daddy. And so she helps me on a lot of my personal stuff too, like when I'm going at full speed in tax season. And so what she's going to do now is because Gracie is early in her college career, she's going to help train her before she leaves so Gracie can just step into her spot.
Okay, well, that works out.
Yeah, it really does. And if I'm thinking back, Brittany, who I loved, she started as an intern. Noelle, who I love, and I miss you so bad, both you, Noelle and Brittany, but they come by and say, hey, I love them. They both started out as interns and then moved into a full accountant, and then Noelle actually moved into a manager's position after that. And I can't talk any better about them. They're just
Needless
fantastic.
to say, you love your interns.
I do. And I love them when they become part of the team as a full time because interns cannot expect long term when they go into that position. It is the definition to me of an intern is a short term agreement.
It's a learning opportunity for both parties.
Yeah, and they can get college credit for it too. I love it when they get college credit.
So that brings us into the compensation because there's the unpaid college credit, but then paid internships. I know you and I both prefer doing a paid internship.
Yes, it's wrong not to pay somebody to do work for you.
And there's all kinds of stipulations and rules for college internships. So you'll definitely, if you are hiring someone from a university or college, you'll want to get with that school to make sure that as the employer are meeting all of those requirements.
Yeah, I actually call the dean's office. We tend to call the school that we both graduated from. And so that's the University of South Alabama. But you're right, there's a lot of legal consequences. Now, I saw somewhere where there's 6 criteria for determining an intern status.
From the Department of Labor?
Yeah. Interns cannot replace regular employees. Interns, they're not guaranteed a job with the organization. It's
upon completion.
Right. But you and the intern are aware that they are not entitled to wages. Thought that was interesting. Interns must receive training. Interns must get hands-on experience with equipment or processes used in your particular industry, and the skills learned on the job must be considered transferable.
I love that. Which, if you think about most intern positions, answering the phones, greeting customers, and that can be taken into any industry. I had an intern one time, and the customer service skills were not up to par, and so that was our biggest concentration, was getting those up to
acceptable performance.
Performance, so that when she moved on from this internship, she could take those skills with her, because that could be applied to any job out there.
That is a huge impact on somebody's life. You can really touch somebody's life. They get college credit. They're making a little extra spending money. They're actually, if you think about it, testing out their waters for what they think they want to do for the rest of their life.
I had an internship at a large corporation.
I remember that.
And it was a huge eye-opening experience.
You left me to go do that internship.
But I needed that learning opportunity.
Did.
I took for granted that internship and the learning experience that it provided. And I feel like that happens a lot with internships. It's in that moment you don't realize the knowledge that you're learning, not even the skills that you're building, but learning this isn't necessarily the industry for me.
Right. All the wasted time and money when somebody focuses on a certain career, they get out, they touch it one day. After they've graduated, they've got all these student loans. They touch something, they go, that is awful. I do not want to do that for the rest of my life, and let them switch gears. I've
heard that some schools are now requiring that students at least participate in one internship in order to graduate. And I think that's a fantastic idea.
I think it's brilliant. You take a teacher that's never been in a classroom, which they have them do that. You take a doctor who has not done a residency. Why not do that for every field? Mm-hmm. All of this money being poured in, and then they come out knowing the book side of things, but they don't know the real world side of things.
Like how to reconcile a bank account.
Oh, my God. How is it that if people are graduating with accounting degrees and they don't know how to reconcile a checkbook? That just blows my mind.
And it's almost going back, there's this big influx of training schools.
Yes.
So, for example, student athletes having a signing day. Now they're having signing days for people going into trades.
I think that's fantastic, because I'm all about some trades.
So I feel like we need to fill the professional gap. We've got the athletic side of things. We've got the trade side of things. There's that professional, transferring phones, answering a phone call, and just what to say and what not to say, what to wear. I feel like that gap needs to be filled.
We should fill that gap. Expectations and structure. I think that has to be put into place, and I haven't been very good at that either.
Well, it's something that requires to sit down and give a conscious effort.
Yeah, and I think it needs to be a written policy that the intern reads, and I really should put this into place since I'm coming up with it right now, because something's going to bite me probably. But writing down expectations, getting their expectations. What do you want to take away from this? Make sure you come together in the middle. I'm going to have to do this.
I think that could be done in the interview process. What do you want to learn from me?
Yeah, but I want to document it. It's like, what do you want to take from me, but what can you give me?
It's got to be win-win, like
win-win.
You always say.
Yeah. If it's a win-win, it's going to rock the world.
I feel like by not writing down those clear expectations of the intern, you then have no room for accountability. If those items are not, written down, read over, how are you supposed to hold them accountable if they never were educated on the expectations?
I totally agree. Us having this conversation today has realized how unfair I've been to the interns by not having that. I'm so glad that we're talking about this today, because now I realize how unfair I've been to the interns. So I've got to make that part of the process. One, to make sure it's a good fit. Two, how can I bring somebody in and give them possibly a false perception of what this entails, and I'm not allowing them to touch the right parts that they need to?
Well, and then following up after that, once they've been in the internship 2 or 3 weeks, okay, here's what the expectations were. Let's see how things are going.
Yeah. We need to do that with everybody, not just interns.
Right.
And we all get so busy, and we're doing the processes and going through the day and
throwing them in with the sharks.
Emails. Yeah, sink or swim. And it's not always fair, and sometimes it's unavoidable.
Well, it makes it more difficult for growth. As you add people, you're having to repeat the same things over and over, whereas if you had that foundation...
We've learned so much. I've learned so much today. I think you're learning something, too, just by us talking it out. I love interns. It's so reasonably priced. Pay a minimum wage. Some people pay more.
Definitely check with the Department of Labor to make sure that you're doing everything compliant.
Absolutely. Something else to do too, and I've had the opportunity to do this, is get to know the professors at the colleges, get to know the dean. They know the students. They're working with them day in, day out, and then they can help select the best fit for what you need. I mean,
and they want to do this. They're looking for employers.
Professors, teachers are excited about their students, and when their students succeed, that's a reflection of them. Just like when our team succeeds, it's a reflection of us.
And the thing about internships is they're not permanent. They come to an end. And so I think one thing that's great to do is, as that internship is ending, use the intern. Ask them to find their replacement. And then have that transition period.
Yep.
Okay, intern, who do you trust? Who should I trust?
That's fantastic.
Who works similar to you? And then have them get together to really have that seamless transition.
Hey, Cadie, cheers to interns.
Cheers to molding young minds.
Ooh, I like that. That's good. Almost as good as this wine we're drinking today. All right, so we're drinking a Riesling.
I love Riesling.
I know
it's probably my favorite.
It's a German Riesling, but not too sweet because I don't like Moscato. Yeah, I don't like that. Rose. I know that's rosé. I know that. It's got a little thing over the E. Anyway, it's good.
Whatever the wine is called or how you choose to say the wine, go visit Domke Market in Brook at Domke Market. We can tell who's been drinking on this episode.
Not much. Y'all, thank you so much for listening and being here with us today. I'm Karen.
I'm Cadie. Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.